guys? It is the center of attention, Brittni Brooks here, and you are watching the Fans View podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Fans View podcast. This week, I'm so excited to welcome on. She's the center of attention. She is a grinder. She has been kicking ass and taking names on the independent circuit. She is the one and only Miss Brittni Brooks. Brittni, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. First things first, we have to do a mental health check. How are we feeling after Saturday night? Are we okay?
Oh, it was really sad to watch. I got to watch it live though, like not live, but I didn't get it spoiled for me, luckily. So I didn't get any spoilers going into it. I got to watch it and truly feel all the emotions of John Cena's last match. It was really sad though. It definitely just feels weird still, like to see all the clips, to see the photo of him leaving everything in the ring. It's just like,
Yeah, I thought about you that night after I was done having my little cry session. I was like, boy, Brittni must just be a mess. Obviously, you've been very upfront about what Cena, has meant to you and your journey. So
absolutely. He's literally the reason why I became a wrestler. So
I love that. For fans who are like, I guess, living under a rock, or maybe they're just coming out of a coma, who is Brittni Brooks? Like both as a wrestler and as a person.
Brittni Brooks is the center of attention. So every single time I step into the ring, all eyes are on me, whether it's in the moves I do, whether it's in the in-betweens or the little catchphrases I create throughout the whole match. But as a person, I guess my motive for wrestling is to inspire people and make them feel the way that John Cena made me feel growing up, the Bella Twins made me feel growing up, like I just want to impact people's lives and I want them to I want to be an escape for someone. Like they can come, they can watch my matches and just get away from all like the troubles and the issues they're going through in their lives.
I love that's a perfect segue for my next question. It's, do you feel like your in-ring style, is a reflection of who you are outside of the ring, or is wrestling just kind of that escape where you just get to be a completely different version of yourself?
I think wrestling has definitely always been like my escape. Like wrestling quickly became my personality when I was just like 5 or 6 years old. So I was always like, unique because I liked wrestling. So now being in the world of wrestling is kind of hard for me to be unique because my thing that made me unique was being a wrestling fan. So I think I don't really have much of a style. Like I'm not a striker, I'm not a grappler. I'm literally just a combination of everything all at once. So I don't know because I always try to think of myself in a video game and I'm like, well, I guess which one am I? But honestly, I just think I'm all around because I'm not too far into like, oh, I'm more of a grappler or I'm more of a high
Right.
flyer. I can't really jump very high, so I'm not a high flyer. I don't know. I'm just me.
Hey, we can't put you in a box, and that's not a bad thing in professional wrestling.
Right.
Let's rewind a bit. You kind of touched on it there. Growing up, were you always a wrestling fan, or was that something that you kind of found later in life?
I grew up, I think I started becoming a wrestling fan like 5 or 6 years old. So I was just so obsessed with it. I remember watching like the WrestleManias and everything, and every single week watching Raw right after I got home from karate practice. And then my dad would put on Sunday mornings, they would do the replay of Raw and SmackDown, but in Spanish. So we
Yeah.
would watch it even though we didn't understand what they were saying, but we just wanted to watch because at the time we didn't have like a DVR and we didn't have on
Right.
demand. And we just had cable. So if we missed
These
it, we
young
missed
kids,
it.
yeah, these
So
young kids, they don't understand. They don't get it. The good old
right.
VCR, the good old VCR.
Right.
Um, Looking back now, is there a moment, when it kind of snapped maybe inside of you and you were like, yeah, I enjoy watching this, but like, this is something that I want to pursue. I need to chase this.
I definitely think after I went to my first ever live event in 2013, that was when I realized that these are actual people. Because it's kind of like movies. I'll watch movies and just think like, oh, these are just characters. Like you don't process that they're real people who are getting casted for a role. And
Right.
wrestling's pretty much the same thing, but obviously with intensity and physicality. So going to that live event made me realize, oh, these people are real, and seeing them with my own eyes, I'm like, oh, I really want to do this. And I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna make it happen.
And make it happen you did. Once you make that decision, like you're gonna go train, you hit the ground and you hit the ground running. For people that might not know, where did you train and what was that early experience like for you?
So I started training when I was 15 years old at Arizona Wrestling Federation in Phoenix, Arizona. And honestly, you say I hit the ground running, but honestly, looking back, I'm like, oh no, maybe I didn't do enough because when I was
Right.
15, I started learning how to wrestle and I had my first match. I think I like 16. And after that, COVID shut everything down. And then we came back in 2021 and I only had like 11 matches because I, over the course of an entire year, because I really didn't know how to get bookings. I didn't know that there was promotions in every single state. I didn't know how to be an indie wrestler. I was kind of just an Arizona Wrestling Federation wrestler.
Right.
So I didn't know. And then I tore my ACL, the first one. And then after coming back, I became friends with Brooke Havoc actually. And she's the one who told me, like, reach out to all these places. Like, she taught me how to reach out to people, how to talk to promoters, how to get bookings. And then from there in 2023 is when I came back and I started wrestling every single weekend. And
Right.
then 2024, in June, I tore my other ACL. So I was on a good little run from 2023 to 2024 and then tore my ACL. And then I came back. And this year, I've been back since January and I've been trying my best to get everywhere, wrestle everywhere, cross off more states. I crossed off TNA and Ring of Honor this year, which was really special.
Love it.
And I crossed off like 5 new states this year. So yeah.
That is awesome. When you think back to your training, what do you think your biggest weakness was when you started? And have you kind of worked that into a strength now?
I've definitely had all weaknesses when I started. I didn't play sports when I was a kid, so I didn't have athleticism. And it was like my first true, like, just experience with sports. So I couldn't jump very high. And I still can't, especially with the knee surgeries now. It's like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Like, I had to relearn how to do everything in the ring after, coming back from ACL surgery. But definitely athleticism. It was definitely really, really weird for me to just be in front of people because I was
Right.
still a kid and like I wasn't afraid to speak up in school or answer questions in school, but I definitely didn't like giving speeches. And now like that's all I do. Wrestling is all I do, and learning how to become more spoken and reactive and entertaining because I think I'm just a very like chill person. I don't go out of my way to talk to people in normal life. But in
Right.
wrestling, you have to be the opposite. You have to be a people person and you have to talk to everyone and entertain everyone. So I think those were definitely my biggest weaknesses. And I've definitely worked on those a lot. I don't want to say they've become strengths because I still struggle with promos a lot and trying to be different and trying to come up with different things and different ways to be entertaining. But it's definitely something I'm a lot better, than 5, 6 years ago. So.
Right. Right, for sure. And I'm glad you said that because like a lot of wrestlers can do moves. There are a dime a dozen that can do the flips and the dips and everything else. Not everyone finds an identity, which I feel like you have.
Oh,
When
thank
did
you.
it when did it start to click for you that you knew who Brittni Brooks was as a performer? Like was it that center of attention idea that really got the ball rolling there?
Yeah, one day I was actually driving like from Phoenix to Vegas and I was like my Give Me More song by Britney Spears came on and I noticed that she said the center of attention and I was like, "Oh, that's actually like a really good moniker and I don't think anyone's using it." And I tried to Google it to see if anyone was using it on the indies, on TV, anywhere, and I didn't find anyone and I was like, "Oh, that's like really smart." And I feel like becoming that character and realizing like, oh, I'm the center of attention, it made me think more in matches like, oh, I need to pause and like show everybody that I'm the center of attention in this moment when I'm in control of a match, just taking a second to like let people applaud me. and taking a second in my entrance to let people get behind me. And then it translated into promos because now like I can say it every promo and I can make sure that people know that like when I beat them on this Saturday, they're going to realize that I'm the center of attention and they're not. So it definitely started to make me feel more comfortable. And then now quite a few places I've turned heel. So that's made me feel a lot more comfortable in the ring because it's like the art of doing nothing and just letting them hate me that has really, because I've always been like a face, so I've always been loved by everybody
Yeah,
and cheered. So to flip it and do a whole 180, yeah, I feel like time has really helped me get more comfortable because I definitely still there's things I'm not comfortable with or things I panic, but it just all comes in time. And this a few weeks ago I hit my 200th match, which
wow,
sounds like a lot, but I mean there's people on TV who have had thousands.
right.
So I'm like trying to get, and I just feel like getting those reps and getting years and years and years of experience is how I'm going to get better. So yeah.
Absolutely, for sure. I want to talk about the moment that got a lot of people talking. If they didn't know who Brittni Brooks was, they do now. Obviously, that's that ID match you had with Beyond a couple weeks
Yes,
ago. First off,
absolutely.
congratulations. That was a massive opportunity.
Thank
Um,
you.
how did that kind of come together? Can you take us through like the moment when you realized it was actually going to happen?
So I saw a tweet from Beyond that was like, anyone who wants to be a part of this match, let us know. So I messaged them and I was like, I don't know if there's going to even be, a spot on the show, but let me figure it out. So I messaged him and he was like, oh yeah, we'd love, but like there's a whole decision process. So then I messaged the guy who like actually runs the ID program and I was like, hey, like I hit them up. Is this something I can do? And I was like, but please let me know as soon as possible because I need to get my flights changed because I was already going to be in New York and New Jersey, but I would need to change the flight to Rhode Island or Boston to get there. So it took
Right.
like a lot of logistics and figuring out car loads and figuring out hotels and figuring it all out. But we got it all figured out. And then they announced me as the first person, which I was like very happy about. So
That's
I was
crazy.
like, I kind of got, the most views. And then I did a very like, to me, it was like a super produced promo that I'm not used to doing. I don't do those for every show. So I tried to make it feel very big. And I really wanted to promote it as much as possible and get all these eyes on it, which I feel like we all did because there was just so many different personalities in the match and so many different women who are so talented. I feel like we got a lot of eyes on it. So I was very happy with that. And although I didn't win, I still wanted to make sure that everybody knew that I was a part of this and I was a part of crowning the next WWE ID Women's Champion.
For sure, absolutely. What obviously you've been to Beyond before that, correct?
Yes, I did. I've done Wrestling Open a handful of times and I've done Beyond a couple times. And then I always tell him too, I was like, if I lived on this side of the country, I would be here every single week. Because to literally be able to wrestle every Thursday and Monday is like the dream. But that
Right.
was my first time at Wrestling Open Rhode Island. So I got to
I
cross
gotcha.
off Rhode Island off my list. And it was
I
like
gotcha.
that was my 199th match. So it was right before my 200 match. So it just kind of all worked out. And then obviously, the day it happened, that time last year, I was, out with my ACL injury. So to just see the growth in like a
Yeah,
year, I'm like, oh, it just felt so good to be a part of such a big moment.
I love
Hey,
that.
you. Yeah, watching this right now. I see you. If you're enjoying what you're watching, I've got one quick favor to ask, and it only takes a second, costs you nothing, and makes a huge difference. If you could go ahead and hit that like button, maybe drop a comment. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed. Doesn't seem like much, but for small creators, it's everything. So let's help more people find this channel and keep the content coming. And honestly, I'm pretty sure the podcast will be really grateful. So if you're having fun, you like what you see, make it official, click those buttons, and the Fans View podcast, we'll see you next time.
Obviously Beyond is it's a larger scale indie. It's not a small company. But on top of that, you kind of had that WWE machine, overseeing it. How different did that show feel from maybe one of your other visits to the Northeast?
It felt pretty similar. It was just that we just had to make sure that we got all our entrances and they weren't going to use our entrances because of obviously the copyright.
Right.
So then we did the intros in the ring with like six people, which was kind of a little weird because normally you only do those championship introductions on like one-on-one matches.
Right.
But yeah, that was the only thing that really felt different. They were still like cool with us doing whatever. They were still like behind us and had like obviously who like what they wanted, but it wasn't anything too different than what I'm used to. So
Right. So after that match, and obviously you don't have to name names or anything, but what kind of feedback did you receive? Be it from fans, your peers, higher ups? Is there anything that stuck with you?
Honestly, just a lot of the feedback, like, was just everyone saying that I'm really good, which I don't know. I'm obviously my biggest critic, so I was watching that match back, being like, "Oh, why did I do that there? I'm so dumb. Why did I do that? Oh, that looked bad. Why did I do?" So you know what I mean. But yeah, it was overall very positive feedback. I think from everybody in the match, I feel like everyone brought it so well. I mean, we had the qualifying match, so that first match of the night with all those girls, and then the winner obviously was Lainey, and she moved on to our match, and then she won our match. But overall, I feel like the matches were incredible, and all the women, chosen for this opportunity were so deserving of it. And
Right.
I couldn't, have thought of better people to put in the match. And there's obviously still so many other women on the indies too that, did deserve the opportunity. I wish it could have been something that could have been like a tournament where it's
Right.
like, the winners could have went on and went on, went on. Because I feel like it would have been able to involve a lot more women that are doing their thing on the indies. But yeah, I think overall the feedback was very good, and I just had so much fun, and it was so cool to be a part of that moment. Um, I feel bad because a lot of people wanted me to win, which like I feel like I let them down, you know what I mean? So it was like, I'm so sorry. And there's a lot of people that still come up to me and they're like, "Congrats on being in the ID program." And I'm like, "I'm not, because I didn't win, but thank
Not
you."
yet. Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Right.
After an experience like that kind of has to change something in you. I mean, did it change how you now approach training, how you approach indies, how you just approach your career? Did it change anything for you like that?
I think it just reiterates to me that I'm on the right track, because a lot of times, like I said, I'm my own biggest critic. I'm just very hard on myself, and I just don't think I'm where I should be for how long I've been doing it. And I don't think I'm that great. So it definitely helps like be like, "Hey, chill, like people are noticing you, people are seeing the work that you're putting in." And also, if anything, Lainey Luck inspires me a lot because she works her butt off, and if there was
Yes.
anyone so deserving to get it, it was her. And I'm just so happy, and she's just so good. Like, I got to wrestle her in October, and it was literally one of my favorite matches that I've had in the past year, and honestly ever, because she's just so good at wrestling, and she just gets it, and she works so hard. She trains like every single day, and she literally just deserves it so much. So if anything, Lainey lights a fire under my butt to be like, "Oh, you know what I mean? Like, I want to follow in Lainey's footsteps. Like, I want to be the next. I want to be next up." So I'm gonna watch what she does, and I'm gonna try to do replicate and also make it my own.
I love it. I love it. As we start to round this thing out, you've put serious work in, on the independent scene. You talked about crossing states off and promotions. What's something that fans maybe don't realize about that grind that you're on, that indie wrestling grind?
It's a lot, like, and a lot of the times you're wrestling for hardly no money. I mean, wrestling has become my job in the past year. Like, I was always wrestling, but I still had like, local jobs when I lived in
Right.
Arizona. But since I moved to Vegas, I can't find anything that is willing to work with my schedule, because I randomly need like a Tuesday off or a Monday off or a Wednesday off. Like, it literally doesn't matter. Like, I cannot find a job that gives me every weekend off plus random days throughout the month. So I'm living off wrestling, and sometimes it is very hard. Like, sometimes you're driving all day to get to a show, and then you're at the show, you do your match, and you go sell your merch, and you drive straight back home overnight. And then you're like, "Oh shoot, I've been up for 24 hours." But what always like grounds me whenever I'm very tired is like, these people at WWE, they're literally grinding way harder than I could ever imagine. And that's exactly where I want to go. So it's like, if I'm complaining about this now, I can only imagine my schedule. Like, I always think about Natalia, she was just doing her book tour, and she was literally in all these states, and then also still training at her dungeon, and doing raws. And I'm just like, "Girl, when do you sleep?" So it's that hustle, and it's that undeniable hustle that I know that I need to get to the next level. So I can't really complain about it now, because this is all I've ever wanted, and I'm getting to live my dream. I don't have to work, like another job in order
Right.
to do what I love. Like, I get to do this 100% of the time. So I should be putting in the work and I should be making it my life. And I am. So it's
I
just really
love it.
fun though.
I love that. And I know you're such a sweet human being that you're not going to want to single anybody out with this question, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Okay.
Um, Obviously, you've worked a lot of people. You've had a lot of matches, 200 plus now at this point.
Yes.
Who are some? I'm not going to use the word favorites, but who are some of your most notable opponents that you've stood across the ring from
I
that you've really
think
enjoyed working with?
I love my matches with Zeta Steel and Maggie Lee at Dreamwave. Those are very fun. I just wrestled Kylie Alexa at Uprising, and that was a really fun match, even though she was so mean. And then, gosh, I feel like there's so many. I'm just excited to like look ahead. I feel like now with like, AEW and TNA, it's kind of harder to become a name on the indies because a lot of them are swept up and then it's like
Yep.
you can't necessarily wrestle all these people that are so good and can help you get to the next level.
Yeah.
So I honestly haven't really wrestled too many like big names in the grand scheme, but I've wrestled so many people that are on the rise. Like I love my match with Maya World. It was like 2 years ago now, but she's so good and I'm like so excited to see all of her success. Jada Stone too, she's killing it. Signed to TNA now. I'm like, bro, all these
Love it.
girls are doing so good and it's just so awesome that there's so many different places that people have now where it's not like you're only getting signed to WWE and it's like a thin group of people. It's now, WWE, TNA, AEW, there's so many opportunities, especially for women now. And I'm just so excited. And I'm so excited to see where I land and so excited to see where I go and how good I can become. So,
I love that. I love that. And I'm low key. I'm very happy you left this woman off your list because it's just gonna make her that much more salty. Obviously, Fallen Gray is a friend of the
oh,
podcast. So I put it to Fallen. I said, you have to tell me something nice about Brittni Brooks. After she calls you a dumb Barbie, she did in fact say something nice and said you had great hair. I want to put the challenge to you now. Can you say something nice about Fallen Gray?
do I have to? I mean, she has a good theme song because she stole my music producer Tim. Shout out to No Name Tim. That was Chris's music producer, and I was talking about how I wanted like a custom beat. So then I went to him, and then she was like, "Oh my god, I need a custom beat." And then she went to him. So at least I'm giving Tim some business. He gets a lot of business on his own. He's incredible. If you guys are a wrestler watching this, No Name Tim, he's an incredible music producer. He knows how to make a song that will literally fit custom to you and just work so well. So go check him out and give him some more business because you can never have enough business.
I love it. I love it. I couldn't wait. We could do a whole podcast just of your Fallen Gray stories.
Oh,
I feel like she is certainly the Joker to your Batman.
unfortunately.
And like I said, we're gonna get you out of here, but I have to ask you my two favorite questions. One of which being, this is the Fans View podcast. When you're not wrestling and driving God knows how many hours, what are you a fan of?
Wrestling, watching wrestling, doing all the things. I am a big Disney fan though.
Love it.
I love watching all the Disney movies, going to Disneyland. Like my dream, living in Orlando, train at the PC, have a Disney World annual pass. That's like the goal. Those are like the checklists and orders of importance. Move there, get to the PC, and then get
I
you
love it.
oh my gosh, Disney World annual pass.
I love it. A girl who's got her life figured out. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um, Last but not least, and this is my favorite question to ask everyone, but at this stage, not just of your career, but of your life, uh, how do you define success?
I think success is whatever you decide to make it be because success looks different for everybody. And that took a lot for me to realize because I'm like a very hardcore person and I love and respect the people who love wrestling as much as I do. And it took a while for me to realize like everybody's path is different. Some people don't want to make it to WWE and they're content doing the indies, which is incredible for them. And sometimes it's just like, oh, this person, like, to me, like, oh they're not grinding as hard as they should be. But then it's like, no, that's not their path. That's not what they want. Or like they're an athlete that moved from college to become a wrestler and their path is different too. Like, yeah, they didn't love it since they were a kid, but that doesn't take away how incredible they are at the sport and how much they love it now. But that took like a lot for me to realize. And just success is different for everybody. But what success looks like for me is getting everything I wanted and working hard to just be a household name and to be WWE Women's World Champion and to headline WrestleMania and to go to all these countries that I've always wanted to go to and to just travel and see the world and impact people and make them feel, like I said before, becoming an escape for them and becoming someone that they just love to watch.
Absolutely. Well said. I love that. And before we let you out of here, I have to ask if you can give us an update on Chris. Obviously, he looks so much better than he was. How's he doing?
He's doing great. He's getting better every single day. We have 2 little kittens now at our house for emotional support. I'm so sad because I missed the adoption of our second cat because I was here in Arizona for a show. So he went and picked up our second cat, Zeus. But yeah, definitely a lot of emotional support going around the house. And, he's doing good. He's back in the gym. He's been posting some videos of him in the gym. So I'm just very excited to see his recovery. Obviously, there's still things that people can't see. Like, I see comments all the time on his stuff, like, "Oh my God, you're returning to wrestling like next week," and it's like,
Yeah.
no, it's like way deeper than that. Obviously, he
Yeah.
cannot be wrestling right now,
Yeah.
but I'm just so happy to see how far he's come. Like literally from being told he can't walk to walking and moving and doing all this stuff at the gym, lifting weights, getting his weight back. Like he's just so incredible and his story is literally one of a kind. So
Yeah.
I'm just so honored to be next to him during his journey because I literally wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
He is just so inspiring. So while I had you, I had to make sure we gave him some love on here.
Absolutely.
Brittni, where can people get a hold of you on social media? Do you have a big cartel or anything like that where they can get the t-shirts and the stuff?
I don't have a big cartel, but I sell my autographs, my 8x10s, my trading cards, all that through my DM, which you
All
can
right.
order. The Brittni Brooks on Instagram and TikTok, and then Brittni Brooks on Twitter and Facebook. And then my t-shirts are all available at Pro Wrestling Tees. They have all sizes, all designs I've ever had. I'm gonna get some zip up hoodies really soon, so I'll be selling those through Instagram DM because I don't think I can put them to Pro Wrestling Tees. But I tried to start a big cartel and I got all confused. So I was like, you know what? I'm putting a pause on that and I'm just
Hey,
gonna
I
keep
love
doing
it.
it through DM.
Hey, it's the equivalent of selling them out of your trunk. Get that money. Make that
Exactly,
hustle.
exactly.
I love it. Well, Brittni, thank you so much for coming on. This has been a couple months in the making, if not years. So I'm glad we can make this
Yes.
happen.
Thank you so
Uh,
much for having me. I had so
oh,
much fun.
and hopefully it's the first of many times you'll come on.
Yes, I would love to come back.
Guys, make sure it's free. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel, the like, the subscribe, all the things. I don't have to tell you, you know the spiel. But go support Brittni. Go buy a t-shirt. Follow her on social. That's always free. And make sure you support our girl. And we're here to help her make all of her hopes and dreams come true. But most
Yes.
importantly, guys, don't forget, make sure to call your mom.
If you haven't liked or subscribed, you're going to be joking me.